Chào mừng quý vị quay trở lại với chương trình Tôi Việt Nam trên kênh FBNC với cuộc trò chuyện về chủ đề những quyền thương hiệu franchise cùng với hai vị khách mời trong chương trình ngày hôm nay là chị Hsien Naidu, là giám đốc của Upstream Consulting, là đơn vị tư vấn và kết nối giữa các cơ hội về franchise giữa các nhà đầu tư quốc tế và các doanh nghiệp Việt Nam, và anh Harry An là tổng giám đốc của chuỗi nhà hàng Lion City. Welcome back. So, Ms. Naidu, what are the opportunities for, let's say, the Vietnamese franchisors who want to sell franchisee in Singapore?
Well, the opportunities are great because, especially if you think about it, in the F&B scene, the cuisine in Vietnam is fantastic. What better platform to enter the world than to enter via a franchise platform?
But what do they need to keep in mind if they want to set up a business in Singapore and they wanted to look for franchisees?
All right, before you can actually step outside of your own local arena, it is probably essential that, number one, you look through your own business model, your business processes, and understand where your intellectual properties are. And of course, at the very first level, it will be your branding. If your branding is fixed branding, if it's identifiable, if it's attractive, if it's got global appeal. Sometimes a Vietnamese brand may be a little bit too local to go international.
Okay.
So these are all things that you need to fix before you enter the global arena. Number two is actually to then find a way to extract business significance out of your intellectual property, which means how you make money and revenues out of the systems and the products you have created. That will come from anywhere from the supply of your products, can come from supply of human resources, systems, know-how, curriculums, stuff like that make your business unique. So these are all areas you need to determine that are already intellectually protected and that you can make money from that. The next step is to actually come up with a sound financial system that allows you to understand how the revenues are going to be made, not just from the company as a franchisor, but look at how the master franchisee is going to get revenues. And even more importantly, if these master franchisees have been tasked to sub-franchise, then how the sub-franchisees at the single unit franchise level make money. Because a franchise is really an ecosystem of many different businesses coming together with a common goal, which is to build one brand. And the ones that are really on the operating front, the foot soldiers, really have to be making money and be happy that they are making a living and building a brand that they are proud of. And then if everyone in this ecosystem is successful, then the brand actually automatically will have a greater chance of becoming successful as well.
So in terms of revenues, does the franchisees have to commit with a specific amount that they have to make in the first couple of years if they, running the franchise?
Okay, so there are two things you're asking me.
Yeah.
One is how much they will be needed to invest.
Sure.
And another part is how much they
have
have to
make,
earn, right? So the first part is very important information from the franchisor, because the franchisor requires the franchisee to build a business model that is replicable to theirs, which means that they need to know how much they're going to spend and on what. So that first part, yes, a franchisee needs to be able to commit to the capital investment needed to build the business.
Okay.
All right? And they not only need to do that, importantly is also to have enough capital to run the business for another potentially 6 months, so that it allows the cash flow to come in. And then on the other part, where how much money they have to earn, typically, as a business goes, there is a normal P&L, which means that the franchisees need to be profitable. So literally,
in the first year, even in the first year of doing
well, the franchisee will need to be at least operationally profitable. Otherwise, it's not even a franchisor's requirement. It is not good business sense for the franchisee as well. So changes need to be made so that the franchisee's chances of success are increased. whether it's intervention by the franchisor or the franchisee taking active steps to find where the gaps are in their business.
Sure. So, Mr. Ang, what are some of the biggest challenges of running a restaurant franchise in Vietnam?
Oh, it's really very, very tough.
Okay.
Through our 8 years of experience, surprisingly, we granted our first franchise in 2009. Today it's 2014. Our most successful franchise outlet, which we have gone through, the third franchisee that we got it straightened. Sorry.
Okay.
Because from the first franchisee, I think the mindset was not right, but also due to our inexperience, we have never had run a franchise before, and did not consult Hsien Naidu here with a consultation of how to run a franchise. We just did it and wanted to experience ourselves. So there's a lot of strict rules to follow in for franchisees, but we did not have that in place. So apparently we had to face the problems whereby the franchisees just did what they want to do. Like for example, even a bottle of fish sauce. What we use for one of our favorite noodle dish, which is the fried Hokkien noodle, that fish sauce, we need that specific brand is because the taste, the end product, the quality. So apparently it cost like 30,000 dong. The franchisee went to change to a smaller, a cheaper bottle
to save some cost.
To save just a 10,000 dong, whereby that bottle could have lasted him for 1 month. You know, it doesn't make sense. And we had complaints from customers that says, hey, now your taste of fried Hokkien noodle in that outlet is not the same.
So what do you do to make sure that they follow your rules?
Okay, for what we do now, because of the experience that we have gained, what we do, number one, we have got all the paperwork done well. You know, they had to follow this, follow that. And what we do is every month, we do a check on them. And before we even sign that contract agreement, the franchise agreement, we make sure that they want to follow it. Then we do the franchise. If not, we will not want to do it because we know what kind of problems will happen. Going through the first-hand experience, whereby normally people will not go through that.
So for now, you have some lesson that you learned before.
Yes.
And right now, your franchisee is running well.
Yes, they are doing well. After following the rules that we have set for them, they are really doing well, much better than the first franchisee.
And right now, are you looking to expand more through franchising?
Yes, in Vietnam, we are looking at a few more bigger cities, and actually, we are ready to face the world.
And how competitive right now is the restaurant business in other provinces, not just big cities, but in other provinces that you look to expand more?
Okay, basically, competitions, there will always be competitions, but the difference is that because we are very authentic Singapore cuisine, which so far we have not seen any in Vietnam. Out of Singapore in the world, I think Lion City is the one that really promises the authenticity of Singapore food.
I have to agree.
Okay,
thank you so much for sharing. We come back after a short break. Thank you. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi những chia sẻ của chị Hsien Naidu là giám đốc của Upstream Consulting, chuyên tư vấn về lĩnh vực nhượng quyền thương mại, và anh Harry Ang là tổng giám đốc của chuỗi nhà hàng Lion City. Quý vị có thể xem lại hoặc là xem trực tuyến chương trình này trên website fbnc.vn hoặc là góp ý cho chúng tôi vào trang facebook.com/tôi về Việt Nam. Chúng tôi sẽ quay trở lại sau ít phút nữa.